Okay, picking up where we left off at, we had 2.019 times 10 to the negative 3. I told you that we needed to move the decimal 3 places to the left, and that would give us 0.002019. Now, let me show you this process as well. Now, this is the final answer, but I'm going to show you another process you could use in figuring out scientific notation. Since you know that this is to the negative 3 power, you move this decimal 3 places to the left, and you put in zeros to replace those missing areas, and that will give you 0.002019. This is just another way of doing this. Okay, now this is the final answer. Now we come here, we have negative 2.019, and it's basically the same, e to the negative 3, and that's basically the same thing. It's a negative, except for this has a negative sign in front of it. It's a negative 0.002019. This is the only difference between the two. It's the same exact problem, except for this has a negative sign in front of it. So you still do it the same. Okay, now we come here to example 8. It says, write the following in scientific notation. The diameter of a human hair is about 0.00254 centimeters. Now, we want to write this in scientific notation. Now remember, the lead number must be greater than the absolute value of 1. I meant to say that the lead number of the scientific notation absolute value must be greater than 1. So we need to move this decimal 1, 2, 3 places. So we'll have 2.54. And we know we're going to have this multiplied by 10. And now we have to put our power. Since we move this decimal to the right, and we're using scientific notation, we will make this to the negative power. If we would have moved it to the left to convert this regular number into scientific notation, or this decimal number to scientific notation, then it will be positive. To write it like it's in the calculator, it would be 2.54 e and then negative 3. So you can write either one. Now, my math lab, I don't know if it accepts both, but if you try one and it doesn't work, then try the other. Now it says in 2010, the U.S. government collected 2.17 trillion in taxes. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to write this out in trillions of dollars first before we could do scientific notation. So it'll be 2, and we know trillions have 12 digits behind it. Because we know this will give us the hundreds, the thousands, the millions, the billions, and then the trillions. So this is how many trillions of dollars we have. Now we know our decimal is at the end. We would need to move this decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 places. So it'd be 2.17. You don't have to write all of those zeros. And it would be times 10 to the 12th power. And since we had to move to the left, we know that our exponent would be positive. Now we're going to scroll down here to the TI-84 calculator instructions. What you need to do is follow the instructions that are stated here in your calculator. There's also a link on this page that you could go to as well to show you step by step on the YouTube video how to put this in your calculator. Now, once you put these values in your calculator, once you learn how to do it, we can do example 9. Now, I'm not going to show this to you, but you just need to put it in your calculator. And once you put it in your calculator, it will give that X value is 10 and the y1 value is this value here. Now, what we need to do is write this in scientific notation, or actually in this regular number form. So basically, it's 9.77 E6. Now we know this means 9.77 times 10 to the 6th power. So that means we just need to move this decimal 6 places to the right and put in the zeros for those blank spots, and we will have 9,770,000. And that will be the answer. Now we go here to B. Now this value is given here. So that would mean this 1.539077169 e to the negative 6. We know that means this here, 1.539077169 times 10 to the negative 6. These mean the same thing, and that means that you need to move this decimal 6 places to the left, which will give us 0.00000015, and we could just round this number to make it 154. And this would be the final answer. Now, we scroll down here to C. It says, what is, now we should change this minimum to maximum. What is the maximum point of this graph according to the scientific notation? Now, if you notice here, our maximum value, it has the x value and the y value. So we can write them out as they appear. So we'll write it out as an ordered pair. It'll be a negative 2.000, I think it's 5 zeros, 1. That'll be our x value. Now our y value, you notice that it's this e to the e negative 12, so that means you need to move the decimal 12 places to the left. So that means it'll be negative, and we will have 0. We have 11 zeros. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 6, 10, 11 zeros, and then 225. And that is our maximum point. Okay, now it says, what is the maximum point really? So we'll make this maximum. The maximum point really would be, if we rounded it, it'll be -2, 0. Because, you know, if we round this, it'll just be 0. Okay, it says, note, your calculator is very smart, but not very wise. You have to be able to interpret its answers. And that is it from this section.